Oh, there we
There
are.
you go.
Oh, look at her.
There you go.
Hey.
So pretty.
Are you getting any like background feedback from the bars that I'm at right now?
We hear a little bit, but it's cool.
Yeah, cool. I like chaos when I shoot, so it's okay.
I was this close. Like when she said that she was in rebellion, I was like, man, because I was supposed to be in Arlington today, but something happened, and like I was like, man, I would have just gone to the one in Arlington. We could have just rebellion up this whole thing, man.
That's true. That's true. It's true.
Well, I'm in the field right now, so like I was just like, oh yeah, I need to do that, but I also need to be in DC and rebellion. We're just gonna do rebellion.
Rebellion is a good spot to be in. So is Avalon?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we good to go?
I'm good. I'm
Are
ready.
we live? Are we on?
I mean, we're not streaming, but you know, I'm recording. So let me just say, you know, this Brocky Whiskey and Kicks Sipping with Brocky episode with a special pair of people here. It's the dynamic duo from Catoctin Creek, John and Avalon. What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, I'm excited. This is kind of like the precursor, like a warm up for what we're really gonna do.
What are we really gonna do?
So Abby, we had this awesome concept where we were gonna like kind of do like an online contest, and people could like people could sign up. We were gonna do a random pick, and the winner was gonna just get to kick it with Whiskey Kicks and Catoctin Creek, and like we were gonna just hit Alexandria and like hit like several accounts and just go and have cocktails and place to play with some gifts at the ending.
Yep. And COVID hit.
I mean, we can do one with DC. Like, I've always wanted to do like a unicorn whiskey fairy, like bar crawl.
I bet, yeah.
Like in your onesies, I'll wear my like unicorn onesie and like go out and like drink Catoctin all over. Like I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Let's not skip ahead to the onesie. Yeah, I have so many onesie questions. But really the big. I mean, that's another warm up too. Like, what I really want to do is get you guys down to the distillery and get a tour, get all that, get the science and everything, and the math and the blood, sweat, and tears, a real episode of Whiskey and Kicks, and put that out to the people.
That would be fun, man. I'm totally into that. Do you want to do that? Wait, now let me ask you that. Do you want to do that before we do the? Well, we're gonna probably have to.
It doesn't matter. Whenever the time is right, I pay for production for that, so that'll be down the road sometime.
Okay.
If the deposit's there, just sitting and waiting until we can launch it.
Money's in the bank, man.
So what's up, man? I mean, what's up with you guys? You guys have been really creative with how you've handled COVID. Talk about it.
So, I mean, let's talk about a couple of things. One, I mean, if we're going to talk about...
You want to take sanitizer and I take, Netflix and Catoctin?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like it. So as far as what Catoctin Creek did on a creativity level, instead of laying Abby and I off, they pulled us into the distillery full-time production, which... I definitely had several days where I've done production, and Abby, I'm sure you had before too. No, this is all your first. Oh my God.
Well, you remember like when I was like, oh, you know how funny? Because like we joke about this, like we've all seen Step Brothers, right? Where they like roll in, like in their like, they're like tuxedos, they're like, whoa, shit up. That's what me and John felt like when we walked in. We're like, all right, let's do this.
Our first couple of videos, there was some like destruction. Yeah, we were breaking things. We were making messes, and it was. Oops, we were supposed to do this, but we didn't do this, so the gin's gonna be different this week. Yeah.
So let me interject a little bit, and then I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah.
So usually, what are your positions within Catoctin Creek?
We're both representatives of the company as ambassadors. So, like, I represent the state of Virginia, and
I cover DC, Maryland, and Delaware.
Oh.
So 3 states, which basically, because they're like smaller territories, basically it's equal to Virginia.
Yeah,
if you ever looked at Virginia on a map,
I get it.
There's a lot more to it than Loudoun County.
When I first joined forces, I was like, Virginia, no problem, and I because I was like, I did Alexandria, I'll crush it, I'll crush Virginia, and you realize once you start going like southwest, where you go straight through central down, it's a massive state, it's a huge account. I mean, and there's like pockets too. I mean, just outside of the major cities, you got to go to Hot Springs, Kings George. There's like these random places that you just got to go and like fly through and be like, yo, let's see what's up in Whitsville. for the day, while I'm traveling to Roanoke, like stuff like that.
With me, my background, like I've done beer, wine, I've worked in tobacco, basically hit every vice other than marijuana for now. Who knows? Maybe there should be a collaboration with Catoctin because we're very 420 friendly over at Catoctin.
That would work.
And so I covered like Northern Virginia, and then I worked for a beer distributor that I covered DC. So when I got Catoctin, I was like, got it, fine. I was like, oh wait, I was like, Delaware. They're like, go when you can. I was like, Maryland, never. Outside of Frederick, I had no idea what Baltimore or any part of Maryland was. Yep. That was a little bit of an eye opener, similar to like John and be like, yeah, I got Northern Virginia. It's cool. Oh wait, there's more. I gotta go down to these places I've never heard of before.
I'm so busy.
Yeah. So you can eat Virginia and Maryland. You can pretty much divide them. Virginia, you can probably divide into 4 different Virginias. You got Northern Virginia, Central, Southern, and then you have the outskirts. And in Maryland, you have the Baltimore situation. Then you have a little bit in
between, Eastern Shore, and then Southern Maryland. It's really like 3 main ones, and everything in between is got nothing. Like when I started, I was like, I talked to the reps, like, hey, there's some stuff here, and then like I drove around, and was like, there's nothing. Like there's P.F. Chang's and Applebee's. And like maybe like one little like hole in the wall mom and pop shop where it's like literally like granny's like rolling pasta, and then like her daughter and son are like running the rest of the restaurant, and it's like mistakes. And they're like, what's whiskey? We do grappa and wine. Like that's it. I'm like, okay, on my way back to Baltimore.
Yeah, I have a pocket full of cities where it's like that. You go in and it's either chains or it's like the tiny like local guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so like to follow up with your question, Brocky. So what we did is we got pulled out of our element and we got put into the distillery. We're bottling, we're distilling, we're measuring out botanicals for gin. We're deep cleaning the building, doing inventory and inspections and all this crazy stuff. We're tasting drum after drum to identify what's going to be Roundstone Distillers Edition or cask strength or something else. We're doing a lot of bottling. It's mostly bottling is what we're doing, and packaging and and getting ready for shipments and all that stuff. But when COVID, like that was the first part of it. When
it was fun the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and we started. It gets old.
As a total. I mean, it's been a long time, but we had this need for sanitizers, so we were giving out free sanitizer, which is like a offshoot of what our distillation process creates. And we had some stocked up, but we ran through it within a day, 2 days?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The sanitizer. And so this is when we were like, there's a real need for this. And so they decided to make hand sanitizer and literally turned our back of house area, our production area, into what I would describe as a sweatshop. Like we were just steel cans, just pumping out, filling these bottles up.
Just to put it in perspective, Brett, like, you see how cute I look right now? You see all this?
Did you hear me start? I was like, look, she's so pretty.
Not at the distillery. I'm like, no makeup, no hair, like backward hat, like tank top, like just sports bra and like shorts. I'm like, let's get it. Like, I have nobody to impress here. We got real close during hand sanitizer. Like, there's a lot of video. We messed around a lot, but it was because we were in a sweatshop and we needed to like make sure that we could have fun and not want to die.
Fumes in the body.
That's for the record for people viewing this right now. Catoctin Creek does not run a sweatshop.
No, not at all.
My description.
Okay, so when we say sweatshop, the air conditioner had been broken for 4 months, and we didn't really notice or know because we never worked back of the house. So we're just like sweating bullets the entire time. Especially like once summer hit, bro, it was awful. Like John and I both sweat like we're about the same weight. Like,
yeah,
it's true. Like it's bad. Like you might see a little bit more in him every so often, but like me, I'm just like, I'm just gonna hide this under. Fine, still we'll breathe. Cool.
You guys have amazing personalities. And
Thank you, man.
That's what like I really look for. I look for vibe and energy and personality before I work with anybody. I was like, I have to get these two. First, I have to admit, at first it was Unicorn Fairy, right?
Of course.
I was like, what is this? What is going on with this person? She is amazing. And then John, like once we linked up with the contest, I was like, oh, this is live, yo. I gotta give him.
He's literally Charlie Day from Always Sunny. Like, he is the most ridiculous person and super funny. Always just like, what? Like, just all the time. And that's why, we'll get back to like Charlie Day when we get to the other part.
There's another cue to that. So I would say that the sanitizer situation lasted. Oh my God, it literally feels like we did it for a year.
Mm-hmm.
3 months, 2 months.
It's a big deep exhale.
Right.
Does it still happen? Are we going there tomorrow for that? It was about a 2 month thing, and eventually what ends up happening is we run out of raw material.
It got too expensive.
It got really expensive, or got pushed on hold because of the demand for it. And once the big companies caught up, like it became available everywhere. There was no rhyme or reason. We were never in the pharmaceutical industry. We were in the distillation industry. We were supposed to make whiskey, and we were really excited to get back to doing that.
Yeah.
Until we did.
Until we did. I know. I mean, for Abby and I, we were like, yay, we're doing this still.
So what I tell people, because like you never want to complain about having a job during this time. Like we're still very thankful.
Yeah.
But like so when we do private barrels and everything, we have like the team come out from like whatever restaurant, and it's fun. We have a little assembly line. It's fun. 2 people for 3 months, 8 hours a day. Literally, like me, John's like filling, putting corks down the line. I get the dolly, and I'm like, oh, a bottle. Put it on the line. Put it on the line to get labeled. Put it in a box for 8 hours. When Scott gave us the okay to like get in the field, I was like,
it was a lot of us goofing off and talking, and like in the last month, it's been a lot of hey man, how was weekend was good? So
I was like, you don't want to tell me about your weekend? I was like, John, we talk too much as it is. We have a group chat. We hang out almost every other day, like at Monk's, which is around the corner of the barbecue place. I'm like, I don't need to talk to anyone.
Come in bright eyed, just immediately like, I'm gonna watch a TV show. Fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
So I guess it takes a certain type of personality to be out there in the field compared to being.
Yeah, we were not bred to be on an assembly line.
Right.
Back of house versus front of house, man. It's a real thing. Like people talk about that in our industry all the time, and it's like I'll talk to certain chefs or certain line guys, and they'll be like, I could never go out and do what you do. I would just be murdering people, and I'm like, I could never do what you're doing. Sitting there just like, how many? Again? Just forever? Okay. Like.
Well, speaking of heat and back of the line, I wanted to be a chef for the longest time. Like when Emeril Lagasse, like that was like his thing on like the cooking channel. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a chef. Then I worked at a restaurant and like was like this far from the back of the line. I was like, too hot. Nope, it's too hot.
Right.
Can't do it. I'll be at the front of the house. It's cool. Like, not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But that's what got me into this.
So what do you got drinking right now?
Well, funny you ask. I have a legit lineup. I'm just gonna like turn my computer real quick because I'm at Rebellion, and I have.
On everything.
Go down. There we go. So we got the Cap 80 proof, and then we have that's the Diez Muertos, and sorry, going down the line. It's backwards, so it's hard to tell. So this is the All in This Together, which is a
byproduct of us.
It's my baby.
Really?
All of her private labels got sent back. Yeah. I love her. That's her story. You tell me.
This was a very sentimental. So All in This Together. It's got a hashtag in this together, not all in this together. That's a High School Musical reference.
All in this
together. What's up? How you doing, boo? Loving the show. But so this was a collection of 3 barrels that had to be that were the restaurants were unable to sustain their barrels, so they got sent back to the distillery and they got blended together. So trying to make a good thing out of a bad situation, we decided to blend them, and this was a essentially a charity project. Is there too much feedback?
Oh, I'm cool. It got a little loud for a second, but we're good.
It's exciting. We at the bar.
My hair is just gonna like cover this one. So this guy, we donated to 4 different charities that covered front and back of the house, all we didn't take a profit off of any of it. And we set it at a reasonable price. It was like, I think in DC and Maryland, like my markets, it was like 34.
That's amazing. It's 45.
It could have easily been like, oh, let's rabble it out. Rabble.
We could have made it a $90 bottle. I mean, it's
but
one
we
of
wanted to make it
the only
accessible.
blended whiskey we've ever made. It was a.
Oh, really?
It was a birth of this situation.
Uh-huh.
So the barrels, the 3 barrels that went into it were a stout, our apple brandy, and then a Chardonnay barrel. And so all of those, like, so you get really big depth with the stout, nice crispness with the apple, and then with the Chardonnay you get like this really nice like creamy flavor to kind of like balance out any of like the bite that comes from any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And it turned out amazing. And that's what I'm sipping on right now.
Is it distributing that, or is it kind of like?
It's already gone, man. It's sold out in a day, bro. It's sold out in a day.
Wow.
It sold out in what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
It was 600 plus bottles. It was gone.
Is that at bars in the city, or you just kind of had?
It's at Rebellion.
Okay, I have to come by and check it out.
So it's at Rebellion. There's a couple other places I can't think on the top of my head, but definitely at Rebellion. Who's actually going to be?
There's a handful of them in Alexandria too. I can point you in the right direction if they still have them. I think King's Ransom got one. I know Virtue got one.
Okay.
Gosh, did anybody else pick it up in Alexandria?
I'll try it out.
Those are the 2, but that's where you'll check it out. I'm drinking my own version of that. So in the private barrel we do. If one of my clients samples it, I take a little mini bottle, I bring it home, and I stick it in a bottle, and I blend it. And so this is a combination of probably 40 barrels over the course of like 3 years, 4 years.
You got history in a glass right there.
This is. Look, I'll bring a flask of it to the Christmas party. I'll let you try some.
You better.
What do you have in there?
I will.
Party? I gotta wait for that.
What's in there?
Yeah, what's in your glass?
So look, I haven't used one of these in a long time, but it's hot. So, and I don't really like to water down my whiskey, and everybody's welcome to watering down my whiskey. I do have
Oh, okay.
And that's one of our Catoctin Creek chill rocks.
Show off.
And I tell you what, hey man, available online for being delivered to your house.
What website?
You know it.
CatoctinCreekStore.com.
Or you know what? I mean, for the local cats, ask me, ask Gabby. We got you. But I tell you
we
what,
do raffles and stuff, and they might be part of a giveaway along with some other things.
Awesome.
That deal. Somebody walked home with one of these last night. That's what inspired me to do it because it was fresh in my mind. I was thinking about just doing warm whiskey, but I was like, man, it's a hot day, man.
Well, I
and I got the Spears. I like my Spears.
I made an old fashioned today.
You having a cocktail?
Using.
Oh, you got that? Is that the apple brandy?
Oh,
yeah.
Where'd you get that?
I've had it. I keep things.
Brocky.
I have so much whiskey. I don't drink them.
In the vault,
bro.
It's in the vault.
We've probably done apple. I mean, look at the label, Abby. We've done apple brandy finish probably twice.
I figure you guys like this.
What's the number? The batch number?
This is batch.
Can you?
Probably illegible.
Someone scratched it. It was Addie that did it.
Yeah, I can't find it.
There's a little number on the back.
It should start with a letter, right? No, it's the year.
On the modern label, it's right here. Like it says batch, and it's right here in the front. Maybe it's
it might be on the back. Yeah, it's going to be on the back of his.
But the older
it's going to be the year
be on the back.
And then a letter, and then
batch number. I think it's 1316E7.
So it's 2013. Whoa. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
E7.
Okay, yeah, 1316E7?
Yep.
No, that's B. Is that B? They might have changed up how we do it.
They've changed it because that feels like a 2016.
Oh, I've had this for years.
13 because if it was 2013, then that means we bottled it before we got into the tasting room, and I don't think we were doing those type of barrel finishes yet. That's a 2016 though. That's a 4-year-old bottle that I'm telling you. I mean, like you can eBay that junk.
Yeah, John, tell you, man. You know, I like having stuff that maybe people don't have anymore.
I can't think of one person. I can't think of one account. That has an apple brandy finish. I can't think of anybody.
I do that. I do what I can.
Next time when I come to see you, I want to taste it because I don't remember what it tastes
like. What does it taste like?
And it plays well because I have it in the old fashioned, and I put I put black walnut bitters in here too.
Yeah, bro,
it's really good.
That is my jam. I love me some black walnut in a old fashioned. I learned very quickly. Whoever's watching, and you haven't used black walnut, very sparing.
Particularly with like anything that's apple.
You don't need any more than that.
Yep.
Well, don't use it like Angostura. If you use black walnut like Angostura, it's all going to taste like black walnut. You're not going to get any whiskey. You're not going to get whatever else you put in there. And I made that mistake. I was like, and I was like,
nope.
Like, this isn't.
2 drops.
I go 4 Angostura, 2 orange, and 1 black walnut. And this is perfect.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Perfect. See, I'm aggressive, man. So, like, when I do, like, a perfect Manhattan, like, when I make a perfect Manhattan, I use a dry vermouth and a sweet vermouth, equal parts. But then I literally do 6 dashes of bitters. So I'll take Angostura and I'll take orange, and I'll go.
You go for it.
So, it's aromatic. It's flavorful. It's busy. And I like it.
Passion. I love it.
You know, I'm trying to tell. I should have made a damn cocktail tonight. I feel bad, man. It's weird, John. I figured we're just supposed to be drinking this shit straight, man.
Were you two ever actually behind the bar?
Yeah.
I bartended for, oh my God, I can't even remember. 2004. It was for about 4 years, man. Okay. 4 years I was bartending.
That's probably about the same.
Yeah.
I did commercial, like chain, hotel related. And mom and pop, and so I got the military style that is expected there.
Very structured with corporate.
With that creativity that was introduced, that open, like, now that you know how to do it, let me see what you do with it, and that changed the game. And that's where I met Catoctin Creek, is that food matters. That's what changed everything.
Are you both local? Like, you guys born and raised?
Virginia boy. I'm Virginia boy. Man, I was born Air Force Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, and I've lived in Burke, Northern Virginia, Reston, Alexandria, Springfield. I've been all over. Here's
my boy Forrest over at Rebellion. Because I'm not pouring by myself. I'm just like, I need to do
an episode with them. How about you, Evelyn? Where you from?
So I'm originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
And then I moved down here in 2006 and then graduated high school in 2008, right around the corner from Catoctin. So there's a little full circle, and even more so in the sense that the person who I got hired as a reference was Lauren, who's opening up Buford's Biscuits in Leesburg, which is like 15 minutes from the distillery. We used to work at Lauren's wonderful. So I used to work with her and bartend at the old Vintage 50 in Leesburg, now Dog Money. And I basically lived at her house like 4 to 5 days a week. And we'd just pull doubles. I'd crash her house after going to like stinky shenanigans, getting tore up, and then be like, all right, let's do it. We're going to work now. And drive each other into work. And that was so I'm 30 now. So that was when I was freshly 21. That was my first bartending job, was at Vintage 50. And then I bartended, scattered. Basically, at Vintage 50, after that, I became a rep. I started selling wine. And then I worked at a members-only cigar lounge, and then started working for a tobacco company. Then after that, worked for Southern Wine and Spirits, and then B&B Tobacco. And then did my own thing on the side. And it was crazy because Lauren contacted me when I was like, I'm not, literally said it to no one. And I was like, I'm not making a lot of money, bartending 3 days a week and then repping on my own brands. I should be making more money. I'm doing 60 hours a week. I need a better job. That thought popped in my head. And a week later, she's like, hey, do you know anybody who'd be interested in this job at Catoctin? I was like,
right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And so a week later, I got on a phone call with Scott, and we talked for 30, 45 minutes. And then he's like, okay, so I'm going to bring you into the distillery. chatted with me for like 30, 40 minutes again, like gave me a tour of the distillery. And he's like,
cool.
it's a good fit. I think it's a good fit. I'll send you an offer letter tomorrow. And I literally got it like the next day, and I started January 2nd of 2019.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
So I've been with them for a little over a year and a half.
That's awesome.
So and when I met them, just so not to like be like.
You want to one up me, John? You want to one up me?
I gotta be like, well, see, since she's got all of those.
I got more history with Catoctin. I got
the history. No. So I didn't realize all you said was did you have bar background, and I left it at that. But I did wine distribution and service distributing in Northern Virginia for about 4 years. I was doing wine, but before and the bars and all that. But when I was at the bar, I had gotten wind that the bar was going to shut down. I saw an email that I walked across that I wasn't supposed to see. You know what I mean? And immediately, so like I called Scott because I had just met them, and we had done this really cool dinner. We were the first dinner in Northern Virginia to work with Scott. Wore a kilt, and there's like a picture online of that still out there. It's pretty wild.
They're awesome.
But like, I called him and I was like, yo, man, it sounds like this isn't going to work out. I really want to work with you guys. How can I do that? And he was like, we can't afford people. We're a brand new company. He was like, if you want to freelance, I'll let you fill out a form and I'll give you some liquor and you can go and sell it. As a bartender, I didn't know what that meant. You know what I mean? So like, but I got my free liquor. I got free liquor. Yeah, well, right. That part I understood. I knew I wasn't getting paid, which is why I didn't work so hard for him at that time. But I tried, and in the meantime, I was looking for any other position in the industry. So I started working as an associate brand ambassador for William Grant & Sons. So I'm sure you're familiar. That's what Glenfiddich, Balvenie, Tullamore Dew, Hudson. So I was in that wheelhouse. I was learning about Hendrick's gin. That was like the big thing. And I was in DC, kind of hand selecting beans. They would set them up. I would show up, and I would do like the dog and pony show, educating people on whiskey. And that was a really tight gig. But so I did that in wine distribution, and that led into like, and I kept calling like once a month. I'd be like, yo, Scott, so what's up with that job? And I still can't afford people. I see you hired two. I see Chad. I see Greg. Like, what do you mean you can't get? What's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong? You know? And I just kept pushing. I basically bugged my way into Catoctin Creek. Like he eventually was just like.
He just started like being like, you're paying me now, and I'm your sales rep. Like I'm your full-time sales rep.
I'm already doing it. We're already doing it. I was like Robin in that one Batman movie. I was like, it's already happening. I'm your partner. We're partners. So he opens up the tasting room. He's like, I'll offer you tasting rooms. You can do the tours. You can work the cocktail program. And I was like, I'm in it. And I did that for several years while working on service distributing. So like during the week, I'd be at this wine thing. And I'd be like, all right, babe, Saturday morning, I would drive to the distillery. I'd work. I'd stay at my sister's house because she lives in Ashburn. I'd work all day Sunday. And I basically just secured all weekend and would come back and then go work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday at his other job. And he caught on like, this motherfucker is serious. And like, he's not going anywhere. And once we had Anna, like Mary was like, I need the weekends. You got to come home. And so like I started coming home and I started working like once a month, because of the baby. And at one point he just was like, Becky wants to have coffee with us at this shop in Arlington. And we sat down at this coffee place and they offered me the job like permanently. I was there.
Northside Social? Is that where you went?
No, it was right by, I can't remember the name of the joint. Maybe you know it, but it was at the time, it was where Ray's Hellburger is, that shopping center.
Oh, heard. Okay. Yeah. No, I know. So I was hoping it was Northside Social because I have a lot of history with there. I'm like, how crazy would it be if like you had an interview to like get a job at Northside Social? That happened to me so many times.
That's so weird. No, this was I can't even remember the name of the joint.
It's across the way from Courthouse Social.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Maybe not. It's not important. It's fine.
Roadside Grill comes to mind.
So, John,
you know that Roadside Grill over there?
What year was that when you actually started getting paid to work for Catoctin Creek?
7 years ago.
Oh, wow. So you've been around for
7 years ago.
Okay. Gotcha.
We just
and we're 11 years old.
Sat down and did 7 years. So I've been around. And again, I met them the year that they were initially created, freelance for them for that other year. got into the tasting room when they opened up in 2014. So,
Okay.
so that was that. And I was doing part-time stuff for about a year or two. I was freelancing a year before that. I feel like I've been there since they started.
Well, you have, in the sense that as a patron, as a guest, you've been there,
Right.
essentially.
Right.
Like, he stalked them. He was just like, I'm going to work for you.
I'm going to have this job. And they created a job for me.
It's going to happen.
That's pretty wild, though. That's the difference. They had a job for you. They created a job for me. Like, they were like, we got to figure something out.
This guy's not going anywhere.
Like, well, it's like the low-key version. Like, what's that, like, stalker, like, Netflix show? Like, I love you, like, it's me, or I love you. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, where the guy's like, I followed her from the bookstore. Like, that was John Catoctin. He's like,
the cable guy. I was the cable
Or the cable guy. If you want to go, like, further back with Jim Carrey. That's You're like, I'm still here. I'm still here.
That's one of my favorite movies.
A cable guy?
Yeah.
Yo, I used to tell my parents' friends that I was Jim Carrey's adopted, like I was his daughter. And
I've heard this story like
that
times.
he
so
like
funny.
dropped me off on somebody's doorstep and they adopted me. He's coming back for me. Like, and I told my parents' friends this so much.
You got like in
They're
trouble,
like, Avalon, you can't say this. That's not okay. You're making it sound like you have a really, I was like, you're making it sound like you have a really bad home life. Like, stop. And I was like, but that's what I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was me as a child.
We are going to have to get together and just have drinks and chat some more. And then I can't wait to do this episode with you guys because I have more formal questions, but I didn't want to waste them here. I just want to, this is just a
hangout. It's like a chill.
Free flow, man. We're having a good time. We're just hanging out, having a drink.
Hanging out.
So whoever's watching out there, the wonderful people, John had talked about the sanitizer and we got, conversation between.
Netflix.
But we did 10 episodes of Netflix and Catoctin. And they
awesome.
are ridiculous.
They're
so
awesome.
I dressed up as a man half the time. I just happened to be like what felt right for the ones that we did.
I dressed like a woman once, but we didn't get the outfit on time, and then I just dressed like me in a wife beater again.
So it was too hot to handle was the one. I got him like one of those like shirts that has like the bikini, but it's like like the moo-moos. Yeah, I wore the moo-moo.
Wait a minute, wait. Where are these episodes?
They're on Catoctin Creek on the Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
So the first one was Tiger King, and then we did Parks and Rec. The Office is my personal favorite.
I still think it's my favorite too, man. It's funny because she dresses. See this?
I looked like John. It was amazing.
This shirt, this hat,
the bandana,
this beard,
I drew on a beard.
Bandana.
It was like looking in a mirror for John. I was like, is this weird for you? Is it weird?
Hilarious.
And so that episode we did if you've ever seen the episode of The Office where Jim walks in looking like Dwight and like mimics him.
Yep.
So because John is such a character and he's got so many, as we call shope-isms, lots of his shope-isms, he'll like quote he is the Shazam of people when it comes to music. He will tell you everything that you need to know just by listening. He's like, oh, like Snoop Dogg got his like round by being a coffee maker and he was just like rapping himself.
Coffee maker.
He knows his hip hop, but we're not gonna get into that today. I have questions about that, John. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
That was the whole spiel of us. That was our skit. So we do about a 30-second to a minute skit in the beginning of the Netflix and Catoctin. And so I basically was Shope. And I was like, oh, do you guys know that Scott was the distiller? He goes, no, he's the distiller. And get really passionate and upset about it. So the false facts that I would see, it was awesome.
It was such a fun
Stranger
one.
Things.
It was so fun. Stranger Things.
You played
cool.
a great Hopper. Hopper.
I shaved my beard for that one. I tried to look, and I got the shirt from Amazon. I look just like the dude, man.
It was awesome. And so the last one that we did was over at 14 Loudon in Leesburg, and that was the first one that we did at the bar. So we did Always Sunny. And Charlie, motherfucking Day, John Shope pulled through. So instead of kitten mittens, we did puppy clubbies because I have a tiny little Schnauzer Chihuahua mix. And I got him booties.
She put booties on his dog, dude, and it walked just like the cat in the show.
It was hilarious.
Have you seen that show?
How many episodes are there?
There's 10.
We did 10. We did 10. But now, just so you know, Brocky, we are still organically creating some. So she has a
I want to Columbia. So that's where I'm going after this. Columbia Room. If you follow me on the Instagram and know me as the Unicorn Whiskey Fairy, you also know that I'm a meatball enthusiast.
Loves her meatballs.
Want to send me some meatballs? Send them to Catoctin, put Avalon, Unicorn Whiskey Fairy, right here. So I collaborated with Paul at Columbia Room to do a to-go. They just started doing sandwiches, meatball sandwich, and Catoctin Creek cocktail. Paired. It got launched 2 days.
Nice.
At Rebellion, so I have an Airstream. Drink, John. Oh, did he leave? He's gone? Okay.
All right, so look, we have about 3 minutes left. So
I see that.
I need to tell people where to find you and your social media and all that kind of good stuff, whatever you want to put out there. John will be back.
On Instagram, I am just at Unicorn Whiskey Fairy. Meatball enthusiast, like it's basically just me and unicorn horns and unicorn costumes half the time, drinking Catoctin Creek and eating meatballs, and just doing silly things along with my Airstream that I recently bought and slowly transitioning into moving into Rebellion, where I'm at right now. In the fall, they're launching for the second time their Airstream sub, which is a meatball sub named after me.
There you go.
Because that people know. I get like random texts all the time. Like, oh, have you heard about this meatball? Today got one about Columbia Room. I was like, oh, you didn't know that was my meatball sub? He's like, what?
So where she's at with meatballs, I'm at with fire. I grow my own peppers and make my own powders and hot sauces, right? And so when she's doing what is it, Always Sunny with a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I'm doing a Hot Ones episode. I'm going back.
This is for you, John.
You got me a hot sauce? What is that? Yo! Oh,
okay,
I'm gonna try tomorrow.
Off camera.
Dude. Yeah, we ain't got time. But anyways, all I'm saying is you want to try to test somebody's heat index? I'm on top of that. But you find me at Johnny CCDC, Johnny Catoctin Creek Distilling Company on Instagram, John Reed Shope on Facebook, and Next Round's on me on Twitter. And I mean, you go to my page and you're really just gonna see what Virginia is up to as far as everything Catoctin Creek goes. Music is a whole other page, and that's a whole other conversation, as you said. But yeah, we can talk about that some other time. But yeah, as far as following me on Facebook, it's really going to be like music. It's going to be food. It's going to be drinks. It's going to be Catoctin Creek. It's going to be a lot of hot sauce. It's going to be a lot of like my daughter, a lot of family.
You sweat through the screen watching John eat half the stuff that he eats.
I eat hot stuff every day at the distillery, and I'm like, you guys want to put some of this on? You want to add some of this on here? And they're like,
that is over it. He's like, no, John, I love you, but no.
I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like, I love it.
Catoctin Creek website?
CatoctinCreekDistilling.com.
And then CatoctinCreekStore.com if you want to buy any of our products that we have available, T-shirts, whiskey glasses, whiskey stones, hot sauces, which we also have. Everything that if you've ever been to the distillery, it's all for sale, except for the actual distillery.
And that ends it. We are about to run out of time. I appreciate you too. Thank you for doing this. This is coming out tomorrow. So
I can't wait to see it, man. You tag me in it, you link me in it. I'm gonna share with everybody, man.
Appreciate y'all. I
appreciate you bringing me into it, man.
Soon. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Later, y'all.
Yeah, I won't. I'll see you in DC tomorrow.